in Bristol, Tennessee. Will attempt to run 500 laps today, weather permitting. Lights are out atop the safety car.
Yes, sir. And of course, what a great tribute we've had here this morning to our friend and colleague Steve Burns. Burns, I know this is one of my favorite parts of the race. You, Bryce, and Karen, we love you. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing for Steve Burns, guys.
Darrell, it looks like it's going to work out for Matt Kenseth in that 20 car, choosing the outside. Brad Keselowski and the two didn't really get a very good start.
No, and if the track's anything like it was yesterday, he's going to get pinned on that bottom. He's liable to get freight train down there.
Morning rain took the rubber from the speedway that was there after the end of yesterday's race. Kevin Harvick trying to prevail for second on the outside, and does. And Joey Logano does not let his teammate up in line in third. Now Brad's got room, and Joey gives him a little break. Keselowski third. Logano fourth in the two Penske Ford.
But Mike, you talk about the racetrack, and quite honestly, we haven't had enough rain here to really wash the rubber off the track. There's a nice black tint to the track. I think there's a lot of grip out there, just like it was yesterday when practice ended.
Now, because of the rain, NASCAR in the drivers' meeting announced a competition caution will fly for drivers to check tire wear and make adjustments. Our Fox NASCAR rules analyst Andy Petrie with the details.
Yeah, Mike, when NASCAR does designate that competition caution, it triggers a rule that says no teams can put fuel in the car until that designated time. So it doesn't give anybody a strategic advantage when they know a caution's coming at a specific point.
Kevin Harvick to the bottom and to the lead as he works off turn 4 and passes Matt Kenseth for first. Keselowski, Logano, and Hamlin.
Breaking news, the 4 car just took the lead.
But Mike, yesterday in practice, not only did Kevin Harvick have good speed, he had good long run speed in that 4 car, just like his teammate Kurt Busch in that 41 car as well.
I talked to some of the drivers down there in the pre-race show, Matt Kenseth for one. He said it was insane how fast that 4 car was in race runs.
5 car breakaway. Here's the battle for 6th. You're looking back from Carl Edwards at Kurt Busch with Casey Kane's number 5 on the inside. 6th place. No surprise, Jimmy Johnson, the biggest mover in the early going with 9 laps complete. And in the wall went Stenhouse of turn 2. He recovers.
He saved it. It's not a lot of debris up there yet. I think he just got out of the groove, but I think he's okay.
2nd place. Brad Keselowski on the charge on the inside, trying to wrest second with his Ford from the Toyota of Matt Kenseth.
Trying to make that low line work, and man, if you can get your car where you can pass people down on the bottom like that, what an advantage that would be if you can pull it off.
Has another look at turn 4, but Kenseth's too strong down the straightaway.
Kind of diming it, you know, kind of letting it run up in the middle and trying to dive under Matt coming off the corner.
Here's a look at Ricky Stenhouse up and against the wall at turn number 2. He was 23rd. And Stenhouse recovers, having lost 8 positions.
He will understand this, and so will a lot of the sprint car drivers and dirt track drivers. He jumped the cushion.
But Mike, at the top of the show, I talked about a lot of drivers that got into the wall. That right there is what caused that, getting up too high above the groove.
But the good news is, Larry, right now the track is clean. There's not a lot of debris and rubber up there to pick up on those hot tires. That's why he was able to save that car.
Jeff Gordon up to 19th from 23rd. Jimmy Johnson to 20th from 28th. David Gilliland and Danica Patrick battle. This is for 27th.
I think they may have a little history from some races in the past.
This is a battle for back 27th position, and already the leaders are almost on the same straightaway as Danica Patrick and David Gilliland and all these drivers right here.
Larry, look, here comes the 4 car right here. Here's the leader now, and all those cars, there's about half the field in the turn 1 and 2 area right where he is.
Now that's
that quick.
From 27th on back. All right, Denny Hamlin was a solid top 5. Now he has faded back to 7th. Kurt Busch moves past. So did his teammate Carl Edwards. Hamlin's teammate, that is, in the 5th.
And right now, Kurt Busch in that 41, he's been running low and he's been making it work.
Kevin Harvick in heavy traffic. J.J. Yaley trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. Harvick going top to bottom to find a way through. And down the front straightaway, Keselowski and Logano crashed together.
And I'm not so sure that lap traffic did not cause this. We'll have to take a look at it, but that's sure what it looked like.
I haven't seen teammates wreck together in years. I think the last time was a couple of Hendrick drivers.
And think about it, Joey Logano, 7 top 10s. Brad Keselowski, 6 consecutive top 10 finishes.
And that's serious damage right there. That left front tire is towed way in. They got chassis damage. A lot of damage to the rear of the two car.
See the replays. This may look a little ugly here. We're going to ride with Joey.
Oh, Brad.
Easy there. Sounds like we're going to need to pry that splitter forward.
Brad just got loose. Brad got loose off the corner there, turn 4, and got into the wall, and Joey had nowhere to go.
Keselowski was trying to work his way around Alex Kennedy. Not a lot of room to pass here. There was enough. Kennedy gave him enough room, but
I can't really lay any blame on much of anybody other than that 2 car just jumped out from under him. I mean, the thing got loose.
pace car dives to pit road, and here we go.
I would definitely keep an eye on Kurt Busch in that 41 car. He stays hooked to his teammate's rear bumper. He maybe had the second best car when the race started.
Well, we've seen this 4 in that 41. They've dominated the races at Phoenix and then at California as well. So no surprise, see those two guys right up front.
Busch to the bottom, looking for the lead against teammate Kevin Harvick.
You see right there, just in one corner, though, that shows you there's a little bit of grip down low. You see Kurt here sticking the nose down under Kevin as they come off turn 4. They might be able to make that pass down low here.
Yeah, we saw Kurt Busch making the low line work pretty good before the caution came out.
Just that little bit of extra momentum you get off of that high side, though, keeps that from working.
Busch drops in line. 4-car breakaway. Here's the battle for 5th. Jamie McMurray looked to clear Casey Kane. Couldn't quite get it done as Kane continues to fight for 5th on the bottom.
That's another car, the 5-car Casey Kane. I watched him in practice. Really good on the bottom.
Kane, McMurray with Menard looking on, the 27, and Earnhardt Jr. in the 88.
And remember, the crew chief, Keith Rodden, was the crew chief on the 1 car last year, who's the crew chief on the 5 car this year. And the 1 car last year with McMurray led a lot of this race last year.
Kane was finally able to slide up behind Jamie McMurray in the 1, because if he did not, he had a bunch of them that was lined up on the outside.
Tell you, there's another car back here that we mentioned it. Michael did before we went back green. That 48 car, Jimmy Johnson, he's going somewhere around the bottom too.
He's up to 15. Here is Carl Edwards talking about teammate Matt Kenseth in the 20.
Matt's leaking a bunch of something. I don't know what that is. It might be fuel. A lot of it out of the right side.
You know what else it might be? The cars have sat down here in the rain. A lot of rain fell there for a little while. It could just be some water that was trapped in the car somewhere coming out of it.
Jimmy Johnson pulling up on Kyle Larson. And the 31 of Ryan Newman. Johnson at 15th. Jeff Gordon has soldiered up to 12th.
When I watch that 48 car, Mike, and I think about how bad that car was in practice. But yesterday, final practice and happy hour, they got that thing happy.
Looking at the middle, which clogged up instantly between Larson's 42 and the 31 of Newman.
Is there any place in the world any better to watch a race? I mean, they're all right here. You can put your arms around the entire field. You're looking down on the cars. What an incredible sight. What an amazing racetrack.
Kyle Larson at 42, he's starting to make that bottom groove work just a little bit. Slid right up in front of Ryan Newman in that 31.
That battle was for 13th. This one's for 5th.
Pretty spirited right here between the 1 and the 5 and the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. They are putting on a real show. The 3 of them together are.
New colors for Earnhardt. That dark, like midnight green, it looks like, with gold. And he drops in line behind his Hendrick Chevrolet teammate.
You kind of get down there and you grind it out a lap or two, and you see you're not going to go anywhere. So you get back in line. Think about maybe I can squeeze up on the outside here when nobody's looking. But look at this, Mike. Here's Kevin Harvick, restarted up front, already lapping cars. We've only been back to green about 10, 15 laps here, and he's coming up to the back of the field in a hurry.
Yeah, Darrell, about a half a straightaway in front of him must be about a dozen drivers up there.
And he's going to have to pick his way right through there.
One of the drivers he's going to catch is Brad Keselowski, who's back on track, but 8 laps down and not up to a leader's pace. That's Brad's white car on the inside in the back straightaway. Mike Bliss on the outside, and then here comes Jones in the 11. And then your race leader, the number 4.
Yeah, Brad Keselowski in that 2 is 8 laps down to the leader after those repairs.
But Eric Jones in the 11 for Denny Hamlin. I mean, it's not surprising. This kid, he's got to get comfortable. He doesn't even know what he's doing. He wasn't even expected to drive this car. And here he is in the car just trying to put down some laps and stay out of trouble early.
And with no practice.
No practice. He just got in. I mean, he raced yesterday, but hadn't driven a Sprint Cup car.
And what's the horsepower difference between the car he raced yesterday and this number 11?
Not as much as it used to be. That's one reason why he could do yesterday and kind of get in here and be halfway comfortable.
Jamie?
Yeah, not only was he not expected to drive this car, he's never driven a Cup car in general ever. So crew chief Dave Rogers got on the radio with him right before we went green and said, okay, Denny said the car was tight, but remember you have an onboard track bar adjuster. And he said, look over on the A-post, you'll see numbers and that'll tell you how much up or how much down. So he's learning all of this on the fly.
And these cars are faster. His pole speed for yesterday's race equal to the slowest qualifying speed for today's race.
One thing I've seen him do right here, though, when these leaders went by him, he hopped in behind. Like Kurt Busch, he's following on right now. He's picked up the pace. I mean, he's following those guys, going to school, sees that he can run a little harder without getting any trouble, and he's right there behind Kurt Busch.
Well, I think he's shown in a very short time he has a quick study.
Now, Kevin Harvick getting away from Kurt Busch a little bit in the traffic. Unlike most tracks, the lap over cars stay to the top of the racetrack in the groove, while the cars on the lead lap have to fight for position on the bottom.
I tell you, I can't say enough about how much when those guys went by the leaders, the 4 and the 41, Eric Jones in the 11, hopped in behind them, and he has picked up the pace considerably.
But while that's going on with like Kurt Busch in the 41 car, I'm seeing the likes of Matt Kenseth in the 20, as well as Carl Edwards in that 19. You can see him there in the yellow and the white and blue car. They're pulling up to the bumper of Kurt Busch.
And Darrell, you were probably spot on as to Carl Edwards, that there was nothing leaking from the car, just an accumulation of rain right there that Matt Kenseth noticed. 2 laps to the competition yellow that was going to come earlier in the race had we not had this additional rain delay.
And we definitely have the conveyor belt of cars now. It's hard to see where they stop and where it ends.
And even as good as that 4 car is, Larry, he has a hard time getting by these lap cars or the back of the field lapping cars. It's just hard to get on the bottom and make passes.
Yellow lights all around the speedway, including the post that holds up the starter stand. That was green a lap ago, and it goes to yellow.
And based on the fact that we've only run about 30 to 35 green flag laps, the importance of track position and what we saw yesterday, I think we'll see strategy all over the place. I think we'll see 2 tires, 4 tires, and possibly just some fuel only.
Josh Wise gets the free pass on this, officially the second caution of the race.
Now, that was a bad break for the 11 car, because if he had been in a free pass position and he could have gotten a lucky dog right there, that would have really worked out great for him, but he didn't. But he will.
Well, Darrell, he just completed his first 42 laps ever in a Sprint Cup car. I'd say he's doing pretty darn well.
The thing you want to do, and that's where these young kids are so smart, you get in the car, you make the most of this opportunity, not run in there and wreck the car and knocked out of the race before you can get started good.
Chris?
Well, Kevin Harvick saying the 4 car a little bit loose when he's running by himself on that high line, but as soon as he goes to the low line in traffic, that car getting a little tight, that's what they're going to focus on. Jamie?
And Jamie McMurray just said his air conditioner stopped working again, and he said he's a little loose in and off, a little tight in traffic. They're going to make a wedge adjustment, air pressure, and 4 fresh sticker tires. Let's go to the other side, Matt.
and Carl Edwards teed up on the wall waiting for him to hit the first stall off turn 4. He's in the box. Edwards says the car was a little free on entry. It wasn't bad from the center, but it was still free on exit. So they're going to make a chassis adjustment to tighten him up. Vince?
The crew warns Kurt Busch that the box is a little slippery, so come in tentatively. He's tight center off, so they're going to make a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment. Matt Kenseth, it's free and edgy, he says. They're going to try to give him some stability with an air pressure adjustment, 4 fresh tires for Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth jumps out first ahead of Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, and Kevin Harvick.
That all goes back to qualifying yesterday. Sitting on the pole on Friday, having that last pit box leaving, he was able to win the battle off pit road.
And we listened in on Eric Jones and team.
The wheel's too close and it's hurting my arms. It's hard to even turn the wheel.
10-4 as in deal with it?
Yeah, well, a couple things he could do.
Okay.
They could go to a smaller steering wheel. I don't know if they have anything in inventory or not, but a smaller wheel would help that a little bit. And I don't know what wheel they have on the car, but that would be my first thought.
Well, drivers of different sizes and different preferences. 65 laps complete at Bristol Motor Speedway. Now tonight's MLS match, the New York City Football Club versus the Portland Timbers, is now airing on Fox Sports 2. There's a completed.
The good thing about that 11 car, he is the first car 1 lap down.
Rick Biffle out there like a rocket ahead of Kurt Busch. Here comes Harvick, trying to clear Sam Hornish in the green and white number 9, then Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, I don't think this will be no contest up here very long at the front. Kurt Busch, that 41, Greg Biffle in the 16.
I think Greg Biffle just wanted to lead a lap. I mean, I think he just wanted to, could I be up front for a little while?
Which he has not done since Daytona.
But keep in mind, Kurt Busch is one of the most successful active drivers at Bristol.
Yeah, he, his brother Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon, 5 wins apiece here at this half mile.
Oh yeah, and that 41 car, ever since Kurt got back in it, that's been a car that's going to win a race, and it might be tonight.
And the word from Pam Miller, our pit producer, is that Tony Gibson, his crew chief, is sidelined with a kidney stone.
He's been fighting those a lot. He really has.
Harvick passed Biffle at second place. Doesn't quite complete the pass in the back straightaway.
No, but Mike, that's so smart. You can't just pull up in front of a car that you think you're clear of. You're going so fast, you got to know that there's room to get in there.
Like Carl Edwards almost tried to do on Jamie McMurray there.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I mean, the closing rate is so fast from the guy that's on the bottom to the guy that's on the top. You really have to be careful.
Joey Logano has returned to the race officially. He is 52 laps down after that crash with his teammate Brad Keselowski on lap 20. How about this group? 14th place, Martin Truex, the 78. Jimmy Johnson, Clint Bowyer in red, Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah, Johnson's got a good car on the bottom, but again, that high line, you just get so much speed and momentum off of the high side of the racetrack, it's hard to complete the pass.
Justin Allgaier part of that, along with Almirola and Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Clint Bowyer, Brian Patty in that 15 car, one of the drivers you mentioned, Mike, that got 2 right side tires only, but a driver that's really been struggling since the restart. You saw him there, the 9 car of Sam Hornish Jr. He is absolutely dropping like a rock.
Yeah, he's got his hands full right now, and he's in a bunch of B's right now with the Jeff Gordon just got by, 27 car, Menard trying to get by. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger. It's in a hornet's nest.
Hornish just dropped.
Doing good here, man. Nice smooth.
Just dropped out of the top 10 when Gordon went by.
You just see that 78 and 48. The 48, he can't find a room on the outside because that's where the 78 is. He keeps trying to get the bottom to work. He drops that thing down under him, gets almost clear of him, but not quite.
Yeah, it's like he knows, Darrell, if he drops down there and they start stacking up on the outside, they're just going to keep going by him.
Yeah, see here, he's got a nice run. He arched her down off the corner, and he drove it in there, and this time he made the pass.
He made it work that time.
I think he just drove it down in there and said, I'm going to make it work. I don't care what happens.
Kurt Busch out front at 81 laps. Since the last of his 5 Bristol wins, he's led over 400 laps in Thunder Valley. Jamie McMurray in the 1, battling Carl Edwards. This, Jamie, is for 5th place.
And Jamie was saying his car was pretty good, just a little bit loose in and off, but now just came on the radio and said he may have a tire going down, so they're keeping an eye on this one, and they're ready if he needs to pit.
And just remember, our rules analyst, Andy Petrie, explained about the pit roads under green, where you only have to come down the pit road that you're pitting on under green, but you'll still go at least 2 laps down.
Yeah, and I'd want to be really, really sure ahead of flat, because this track right now is transitioning into a different track.
Tires.
3900 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, a lap ago, he was in that 3 or 4 car melee and then backed right out of it.
Side tires here, guys.
And
So
came
right
to pit
rear,
road.
Got the right rear. You can see back there. I think he made some contact with somebody, Mike, and may have cut that tire down.
Earnhardt was 9th.
That's too bad, too, because Junior had just radioed in to say that the car was good. The handle on it was very good, in fact. But you saw that right rear issue, some trouble getting it off the wheel as well. So right side tires for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Tough break for the 88.
He got together with his teammate Casey Kane as 3, 4 cars were all battling for a spot. Here it is on the right of your screen. Yep.
That's exactly when it was.
Puff of smoke.
They had a little
Cut
bit
tire.
of an issue going off of pit road after that caution flag. He almost made contact. It's funny how some guys, you just have a magnet. You just get pulled toward them and can't get away from them.
And Larry, you can't make a pit stop here under green without losing 2 laps.
No, right now he was running well inside the top 10, and he's 37th, 2 laps down. This early in the race, though, that still is not the end of the world by no means.
Listen, this thing will ebb and flow. Don't worry about it. Just drive your race.
Jeff Gordon closing right up on Jamie McMurray in the number 1. Here comes Gordon. Matt?
Mike, right before that last pit stop, Jeff was telling Alan Gustafson, his crew chief, the car was just way too tight on initial throttle, and he was telling Alan that his car, not as good as others, coming down off the hill, they made some adjustment. He has picked up. He's also changed his lane. He's moved up about a half a lane from the previous run.
Landon Castle in trouble, turn 3, and 8 cars almost ran him over.
It ain't over with yet. He's still trying to get out of the way and can't, and they're closing up on him. Where are they going to go?
Down.
He made it.
That was almost a 20-car pileup starting in turn 3. I mean, nobody knew what to do. He couldn't get down out of the groove, and he's going so slow, they didn't know which way to go here. You'll see it all starting to take place right here. It's 40 up here, Castle. Levin gets in the back of 55. Here comes just a cluster right there.
It really started off turn number 2.
Taking up, go low, taking up.
Watch David Reagan in the 18 now.
Keep coming. Outside clear.
Yeah, Castle had an issue coming off turn 2 and just about stacked up the whole field. There he was brushing the wall, and you see everybody scatter.
Yeah, you just coming so fast, and you don't know which way the guy in front of you is going to go. You're second guessing.
Nowhere to hide here, Darrell, is there?
No, nowhere.
Kurt Busch leads Kevin Harvick by 1.5 seconds at Bristol. Here's tonight's Ford EcoBoost Track Facts. Ford Performance. Ford won both races in 2014, their first season sweep at Bristol since 2003. First Ford win from the pole. Red Lorenzen, NASCAR Hall of Famer, did it in 1963. Track Facts brought to you by Ford. Go further. Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch. Things getting close for the lead. But boy, this group, it's been fun to watch Paul Menard just ahead of Clint Boyer and Greg Biffle. They have been playing bumper tag for position. Look at this on the right 4 laps ago as they came up on De Benedetto.
Yeah, they just been working on each other. A little bump here, a little bump there. That's okay, but sooner or later you get ticked off and you want to retaliate.
But we just had talked about Greg Biffle a few laps ago, but I think possibly now those 40 laps that he has on his tires, more so than the other drivers, starting to pay a little bit of a price.
And Clint Boyer on 2 tires trying to make that work really, really well, while Paul Menard got 4 on his last stop. Casey Mears comes to pit road. Landon Castle's taking his car off the racetrack.
Well, I don't care what happens to the 16 tonight. He's running 10th, and this is the best run they've had since Daytona. So I know he's got to be thrilled just the fact he's up there even in the hunt.
Now, Eric Jones was a little uncomfortable about the size of the steering wheel that Denny Hamlin uses, and that now he has to drive for over 400 laps tonight. Jamie?
And he said it was hurting his arms, and that was after only about 25, 30 laps. I just talked to the team. They do not have an option. They cannot change out that wheel, and they said there's nothing else they can do to help the comfort. He just has to stick it out till the end.
Well, he's a young kid, and this is a great learning experience for him and what he has to look forward to and what he's going to have to deal with when he gets in these Cup cars.
You know, back to Greg Biffle, remember when he pitted back on that first caution, they could not fuel the car. So we should see Greg Biffle within the next 10 laps or so coming to pit road to get those 4 fresh tires and full of fuel.
Now, Martin Truex's top 10 streak could be in jeopardy. He's slowed and now coming to pit road. Still on the lead lap, Vince.
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. has had such a strong start to this season, top 10s in every race, but has a vibration, couldn't take it anymore, so they're going to bring him in and make the tire changes. See, slow on the right side there and making some adjustments. Going to the left side is going to be 4 tire change, vibration trying to calm that car down for Martin Truex Jr.
For the lead on the outside, Kurt Busch. On the inside, Kevin Harvick. Keselowski ahead of Busch. Justin Allgaier, the 51, ahead of Harvick.
And that 4 and 41, they've been racing each other like it's 10 to go. I mean, they may be teammates, but they want to be the best of the 2 teammates.
Keselowski 12 laps down after triggering the first caution at lap 20, the one that led to the red flag period. He was running 3rd when he spun off turn 4, collecting he and teammate Joey Logano, who was 4th. Logano back on track, 55 laps down. Keselowski 12 laps in arrears.
You know, Darrell, when I look at Kevin Harvick in that 4 and Kurt Busch in the 41, not only are they up there running like it's the last lap, they're running equal laps. But I go back to my conversation Friday morning with Tony Gibson, the crew chief for Kurt Busch, and he said, we've been working hard to bring these 2 drivers and these 2 cars to the racetrack set up very much alike.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for quite some time, ever since Kurt got back in the car, really, that Kevin and Kurt, they like the same setup. They don't have to vary. They just make the cars identical, and they run the same.
Kurt didn't get a good launch off turn 2, and Eric Almirola comes fighting back, trying to stay on the lead lap, and does, and here comes Harvick again.
Yep, back on the outside, got the momentum. He should be able to make the pass.
Greg Biffle has pitted.
Mike, you won't believe this, but those guys are having fun right now.
Looks like fun, Darrell. 166 laps complete. Harvick and Kurt Busch for the lead. Welcome back to Bristol. We are under caution. This is what we call a weeper. It is seepage of rainwater that accumulated between the safer barrier and the concrete wall, and that coming down the racetrack is at a tough spot. The exit of turn number 2 where the cars need max traction. So NASCAR has thrown the caution. Pit road's open. Chris.
Well, Kevin Harvick saying the 4 car is still a little tight in the center. After about 100 laps on those tires, he was having a difficult time driving off. That's when we saw Kurt Busch get back by. Jamie.
And Jamie McMurray thought he had a tire going down. I guess not. He was able to hang on, saying he's a little bit tight in the center there. 4 tire stop, an air pressure adjustment, and a wedge adjustment to help him out. Matt?
Carl Edwards has a 19 car back where he started in the 3rd position. The car too free on entry, more on the low side, but he doesn't want to make an adjustment. He called that off. He wants to let the car come to him as more rubbers worked into the racetrack. Vince?
A real advantage for Kurt Busch, an open pit box in and out. Kurt said he really likes the car. They're not going to make any changes, just 4 tires. For Matt Kenseth, bottom of your screen, says he's on top of the track, just doesn't feel like he has any grip at all. It's an air pressure adjustment, 4 good years for Kenseth.
He does not win the race off pit road this time. It goes to Kevin Harvick, then Carl Edwards. Kurt Busch, Kenseth in 4th. Jamie McMurray 5th as we're under caution for the 3rd time today. Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, McMurray, Johnson, Gordon, Dillon, Boyer, Larson, the top 10.
Boy, just that little instant that outside gives you such a huge advantage getting off into turn 1.
$18 cars on the lead lap. Justin Allgaier got the free pass on that caution flag. Here comes Matt Kenseth steaming around his teammate. Carl Edwards trying to take 2nd.
I tell you, the car that just has to be, I'm amazed at how good that car is, a 48. Where that car was junk all weekend long. And they fixed it, and now he's up here. He'll be fighting for the lead before this runs too long.
Yeah, started back in the 28th position. Not too far behind him is Jeff Gordon, his teammate, in the 24 inside the top 10.
Kyle Larson to the inside of Gordon.
Larson! He's making a little bit of a move. Listen, this thing is his kind of racetrack. I didn't expect to see him on the bottom, but this is the kind of racetrack he can really excel on.
That caution flag was a bad break for Greg Biffle. He had just pitted for Sunoco Race Fuel when the caution flag came out. So putting that strategy to rest for the moment.
Yeah, he went 3 laps down, but he was one of several drivers that took the wave around to get one of them back. You know, here's 2 drivers really that's having a good run. You look at Austin Dillon. His best finish this year is 14th, and you see it right there. Look at Clint Boyer, where he started this race, back in the 37th position.
That was another guy that was lost in qualifying and practice, but when it comes to the race, just like they did at Martinsville, the other short track we were on, they fixed the car and he's racing good.
Kevin Harvick has jumped out with a good lead. He gained advantage on pit road. Chris Neville.
Mike, interesting listening to Rodney Childers on the radio as Kevin Harvick was getting down to turns 3 and 4 in pit lane. He said, stay wide and bump your speed. And then as soon as he came to the next timing segment, he said, now back it down. And down in that segment there, that's a radius. So he wanted him to speed up a little bit through there because it's time over distance down here.
But the other advantage that Kevin has is he actually is pitting in the very first pit box coming onto pit road, and he has openings in front of him because those drivers are a lap down.
But when you look at the timing lines in the turns, they're not parallel to the track. They kind of V out. And so you can kind of play some games down there, I think. Right, Andy?
Yeah, you're all over it, Darrell. What they've done over there, because of that radius, they calculate that 30-mile-per-hour speed for pit road right along the bottom of the racetrack, and it's timed. It's not really the speed of the car, it's how long it takes the car to go through those segments, and an average speed is calculated there. So if you do run wider through there, you can bump your speed up quite a bit more than the pit road speed limit and not get caught for speeding.
Closing in on 200 laps, you're watching Carl Edwards in 2nd place, 1 second off the lead. Matt.
Mike having a good run, but there is concern in the 19 pit. Carl told the team after he left his pit stop that he was having to work the throttle. The engine was stumbling, something's amiss.
The engine on the gas, full load. I thought it was a harmonic in the drive shaft, but I think the engine's missing or running just a little funny, like pinging or something. It's a weird feeling.
Well, that could be in the tune-up. I mean, engines were tuned to run during the day, the night. The air's a little different. Could be something in the tune-up in the engine.
But right now, his lap times are not reflecting anything. He's running just as fast as Kevin Harvick in the 4, the leader, and his teammate Matt Kenseth in the 20 right behind him.
Yeah, obviously it's not hurting the speed of the car. Drivers are real sensitive. You just feel things. You feel vibrations. You hear a little different pitch in the engine. Just things that kind of get your attention.
He's about to feel Matt Kenseth in his rear bumper.
Yeah, that'll get your attention.
Yeah, he didn't get off of turn 2 very good that last time, and Kenseth really pulled up there to him.
Kevin Harvick, your race leader. Carl Edwards in 2nd, and Kurt Busch has just taken 3rd from Matt Kenseth. Jimmy Johnson in 5th. Problem on the 41, Vince?
Well, like many teams that we've been hearing on the radio throughout the course of the night, just feels like he's got a bad vibration in the car. They're going to keep him out there until it's absolutely necessary, hoping to get a yellow, or no, it's not going to fix itself, but he's just trying to hold on to it.
Yeah, you know, this is one of the rules that NASCAR did away with this year, is to let the teams kind of police themselves on the lug nuts. And it seems like this year the penalty for loose lug nuts is even higher than it was last year, because you just went to the end of the longest line, or you had to come back in and put a lug nut on under caution. This year, if you have a loose wheel, the drivers are going out there trying to see if they can make it, you know, make it last, and they're having to come back in under green and lose laps. We've seen that a couple times already tonight.
You know, Andy, one reason I think it is more and more people are doing it. We're hearing about it more and more. It used to be an occasionally thing. Now we're hearing about it almost every pit stop.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Darrell, where NASCAR protects the teams from themselves, and now they're not. And so the teams are actually having a lot of problems with this non-rule.
Earnhardt and Gordon are 2 drivers who've had to pit for loose wheels. 242 complete, riding with Jamie McMurray in 6th place. Jimmy Johnson in 5th, just ahead in the blue. And in the yellow, Matt Kenseth. Carl Edwards has something for Kevin Harvick.
He does, and I'm really happy for Carl, because he's been really upset with himself more than anything, because he felt like he's made a couple of driver errors that's cost him a couple of good runs. Tonight he's using his head, driving a smart race, and looking for the lead.
But Darrell, I love what he told you guys over in the Hollywood Hotel in the pre-race, that he was trying to get more than was there.
Yeah.
And that was getting him in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but that's how he's had to drive up until he got in. These cars are pretty fast, and I think he needs to let the car do some of the work and not try to carry the car all by himself.
Well, that time off turn 4, Carl Edwards got a little loose off the bottom side on turn 4, and that cost him 3 car lengths to race leader Kevin Harvick. On the right of your screen, Matt Kenseth trying to hold back Jimmy Johnson. That's for 4th place.
And Mike, I got to tell you, these first 6, 7 cars, they are racing hard, man. I mean, they take advantage of everything. Somebody slips, they're there.
Sub 16-second laps for at least the first half dozen in this race as we close in on halfway.
And that's a fast race pace right there.
We are flying, man. We're coming up on halfway.
Drivers who've had problems include Jeff Gordon and Martin Truex. Truex trying to extend his string of top 10s. So was Joey Logano. That's not going to happen for Logano. Many, many laps down. Kevin Harvick still in the best position to extend. Truex is going to have to rebound from 30th.
Yeah, Harvick's working on his, 2.5 or 2.7 average finish. He's trying to improve upon that. 2.5.
Carl Edwards trying to move him to position 2. Still 16 cars on the lead lap. Paul Menard is the last of those. Ryan Newman is in the free pass position. For quite a while now, he's been the first car 1 lap down. We're at lap 250. We are halfway in the Food City 500. Time to stand up for cancer. All of our thoughts with Steve Burns and all of those who are battling cancer and with their friends and loved ones on this day. Carl Edwards had the inside for the lead, but Greg Biffle was right there where Edwards wanted to go.
But you see the right side of Greg Biffle's car, the tires, they got the letters all rubbed. He's been leaning on people.
Now look who just went by Carl Edwards. You're looking at it right now. Jeff Gordon in the 24, 2 laps down. He's trying to get one back by racing by the leader, and that would put him only 1 lap down here right at the halfway point.
Well, he's got better tires, which doesn't make a lot of difference, but it could make just enough difference to get the job done, and who knows what might happen in this race. Still got a long way to go.
Gordon had to make an unscheduled pit stop for a loose wheel. Our Stand Up to Cancer mid-race report coming up after the break. Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards fight for the lead in Bristol.
Food City 500 in support of Steve Burns and Stand Up to Cancer is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And by McDonald's.
A little too much rain to get right back to racing, so the red flag is out for the second time tonight. Jet dryers at the work, and they should be done quickly. We'll be back to racing. Fox Sports is proud to join Stand Up to Cancer in support of Steve Burns during tonight's Food City 500. Stand Up to Cancer raises funds for innovative research that helps more cancer patients become cancer survivors. You can learn more at su2c.org. Edwards high, Harvick low. Here they come.
Really nice start by Kevin Harvick on that outside. That has not been the way to go, but he might make that work. Maybe not.
Boy, Edwards got a big run in that 19 off turn.
Whoa, no, trouble.
Johnson in the wall after contact from Busch. Here they all come. Everybody on the brakes. Chris Buescher piles in the back of Danica Patrick. Alex Bowman goes around, and you see how quickly this speedway clogs up when things go wrong.
For sure, but you know what? With all that happened, I don't think anybody got any serious damage.
Yeah, for the third and fourth place driver to have that happen, a miracle we didn't have a big crash.
A couple of cars got run into. Danica got spun around there, but I swear I don't think anybody got any serious damage.
Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch. Let's see how this happened.
Yeah, well, you got the 41 and 48 going down the back right here side by side. 41 just pushed up into the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, and the 41 goes around in front of the field, and watch these guys scatter. And other than Danica getting spun out, it was pretty much just a couple of cars getting spun out.
Carl Edwards once again side by side with Kevin Harvick, who got a good jump last time on the inside. Here we go.
Yeah, Kevin got another great restart right there with the 19 as they go into turn one. Little drag race off turn two here, but that outside should prevail.
Edwards edges ahead off turn four. Kenseth coming for second.
And then look who's in fourth place. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 17 car. And here's this battle for second between Harvick in the 4 and Kenseth in the 20.
Well, Carl won the race here last year. Stenhouse finished second. Almirola back there, he had a top 5 car. Those guys are all migrating to the front slowly.
Martin Truex got all roughed up. So did Josh Wise. Little smoke from Wise's car. He's been in the fence, and so has Truex down in turn one.
I just see things that I never thought I'd see at Bristol. 3 wide, and got a problem here with a 78 car. Oh my.
Second place, Harvick. Still hammering away on the inside, but he cannot take advantage of Matt Kenseth. And let's show you what happened to Martin Truex. You see him 3 wide there, and they get stacked up. Kennedy, Burton, and Truex up and in the fence, and then a little contact with Josh Wise right there.
Got a flat left front tire now, and that's what I was saying. I've seen things. I've seen guys going 3 wide here. I never thought that's possible.
But it appears like Joey Logano, his top 10 finish streak will come to an end here tonight.
And likely that of Martin Truex, who is now 5 laps down.
Yep, the only one left with that streak is the guy running second right now, Kevin Harvick. And like I said, he's continuing to try to improve on his 2.5 average finish.
Mike, Darrell, you talking about a driver that has run a clean race. How about Justin Allgaier in that 51 car, sitting there in 6th spot, just minding his P's and Q's here with 200 laps to go.
And another car that looks clean and pristine.
Yeah, I got that experience, though, in that pit box. Old Steve Addington, he knows a little something about Bristol.
300 complete, 200 to go. Round numbers. Time for a NASCAR on Fox. Crank it up.
Clear. Still out there. Still out there 10. Still out there 10. 6 is gone. Still there. Clear. Clear back to the 20 on the bottom.
Carl Edwards the leader. Matt Kenseth is there, and Jimmy Johnson has caught Kenseth. Now the fastest car on the racetrack has been Carl Edwards. What could possibly be wrong? Matt.
Mike, there's a problem on the 19. Carl radioed his team a few moments ago, said he's picked up a vibration. That vibration intensifies right there on entry into the corners. Darian Greb told us, if it's too much, bring it to pit road. The pit crew members have put their helmets on. They're at the ready in case he has to hit pit road.
Whoa, Jimmy Johnson just turned Jeb Burton. They both go around. Turn one, Burton in the wall, Johnson spinning to the bottom. And Harvick spins into David Reagan. Oh my goodness.
Oh my. Of all the things that could happen.
Jeb Burton had been taking up a lot of racetrack. Jimmy Johnson may have got a little impatient, and now 4 cars are wrecked.
But Jimmy Johnson had got way behind, and those leaders were not far behind him, about a straightaway behind him, but a lot of damage to Kevin Harvick in that Ford.
Let's see what happened here, guys. That happened so fast. Right down the front right here, and I think you might be right. It looks like, I think Jimmy was just trying to make a pass here. He got down underneath of him. That's Jeb, yeah. I think Jimmy's a little frustrated with his car and that accident, and he wasn't running like he had been. He had a shot at winning this thing, got that taken away, and poor old Jeb Burton. By the way, has been in a lot of situations, precarious situations tonight.
Just
and look,
bam, nowhere for Harvick to go.
My
David Reagan
goodness.
sitting right in the middle of the racetrack.
There's the start of it. It carries down toward turn 1. David Reagan all piled up, and I'm curious to see how Kevin Harvick, unable to get around as the others leaders did.
You know, I think he could have been in a blind spot right behind those cars in front of him. Let's see what he sees.
Back it down, back it down.
See, can't see, can't see, can't see.
Right here, easy.
Several of the one-lap down cars, including Jimmy Johnson and Danica Patrick. Back under green, Edwards races into turn 1 with the lead.
Here, our top 7 drivers did not pit. Everyone else behind them made a trip to pit road.
Matt Kenseth can't come up to the top side because Casey Kane is there racing for second.
Little 5 cars looking good. He's been keeping his nose clean all night, and it's time to make his move. He's going to the front.
Quickly single file back through the first 8 positions. Side by side at 9th, Ryan Newman, Clint Boyer. Now Jamie Little's caught up with Jeb Burton.
And he's been checked and released. His dad, Ward Burton, came up and had some words with you. What exactly happened?
Well, 48 just got into us a little bit, and I thought I had it saved and just snapped back on me. I had a lot of wheel input in it. I was really tight. Hated for those guys, hated for us. I don't know. It's hard to give a lot of people room. There's not a lot of room to pass, and he just got into me and turned me around. So it is what it is. We'll go to Richmond next week.
All right, one of those young drivers making his first start here at Bristol, Mike.
That red chip indicates the penalty. Cost him 5 spots.
Debris, turn 1.
And that's the reason for this 7th caution flag of the night. It comes out at lap 344. Debris in turn 1, and it looks like that caution will benefit Jimmy Johnson, the first car 1 lap down.
And boy, has Jimmy had an eventful night ever since he got in the wall down here earlier, and I'm not so sure that piece of debris didn't come off of his car. No, I'm not sure about that one.
Kyle Larson out in front, green flag, as he battles Almirola, and Hello Newman on the outside in third.
Just this track just always is, it does this. People you haven't talked about all night, gets down to 100, 125, 30 laps to go. People you haven't talked about all night at the front of the field.
Boyer on the bottom, battling Menard side by side. They come off the corner for fourth.
Would you have thought we'd be talking about Boyer? I mean, the way his car was in practice and qualifying, and here he is, just like he did at Martinsville, up there challenging for the lead.
And Mike, you talked about all of these drivers that they've not been to victory lane this year. I look at drivers, a lot of them up there that's on some long winless streaks, and Kyle Larson that's never won a Sprint Cup Series race.
But this is his kind of track, Larry. I felt like he could have a pretty good night here. He likes that high line, and he doesn't mind throwing it in there.
Look at the 19, Carl Edwards coming hard. He's got a very fast race car, but when you're in mid-pack, where are you going to go?
Well, you got to be careful with a really fast car, or you'll run over somebody trying to get back to the front.
Jamie McMurray got 2 tires. He is 6th. Kevin Harvick returns to the race after 42 laps to repair damage.
Now that's close, boys. Up close and personal. Reaching out and touching someone.
Looking back from Clint Boyer's Toyota at Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, you look at this group right here that we're riding with. This is a group that was up inside the top 5 not that many laps ago.
Carl Edwards leading the race, and now he's having trouble just hanging on to the spot, whatever spot he's in here right now, 14th.
Here comes Stenhouse and Jeff Gordon trying to take advantage. Let's move up to 5th place. 2 Toyotas continue their intramural battle. Kenseth and Boyer.
But Matt Kenseth, he has the freshest tires of all these drivers that he's racing with right now. 4 tires on that 20 car.
Jeff Burton is back in the race. And that leaves only David Reagan in the garage. Now the top 5, none of whom, only Kenseth stopped on that last caution. So it's been a while for Larson, Newman, Almirola, and Menard.
And starting with Matt Kenseth, he can make it to the end. And with the number of cautions, I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility for Newman, Almirola, Menard. Now, Larson, that would be a stretch even with the number of cautions, considering when he last made a pit stop.
Yeah, and so you think we're going to go to the end with
not even remotely.
Not even close.
Got away from Paul Menard right there. And that drops him to 7th.
It's just interesting. I love this place. It's one of the things that, oh gosh, the 42 just got in the back of the 40 right there going down the front straightaway.
And Landon Castle pounded the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Head on and hard.
Larson wasn't sure which way the 40 was going to go, and he pounded and hit him.
Lap 367. 8th caution flag. Now, Castle was the last place car in the race and was nowhere near. Here he's moving around. Looks like he's okay. He's moving around in the car. He has not yet dropped the window net, which is the signal to the safety workers that he's okay.
That was a hard lick, I can tell you that.
Now the net's down. He's taking the steering wheel off and getting ready to climb out. There's the damage to Larson's car.
Yeah, you can see right there where Larson got into him. Larson was closing so fast. Take a look at it. Come off the corner here. Looked like Larson started to go the inside. He saw the 26 of Jeff Burton there. He started back to the outside, and the 40 was there, and he clipped him. See right here, he said, okay, I can't go that way. I got to go this way. And there was the 40, and he clipped him, and what an impact.
Kyle Larson, Ryan Newman, the front row, Kenseth and Almirola. Here we go, green flag.
Terrible start by the 31 car Newman. He just did not go at all.
And that really hurt Eric Almirola in that blue number 43 car. You can see him trapped on the inside as Carl Edwards in the 19 goes by him.
And Edwards edges ahead of Almirola. He's in 6th place. Matt.
Mike, Edwards reported that his car was tight on the high side, but he was going to go to the front. They debated whether or not to pit. They decided to stay out. But Jason Hedleski, his spotter, has been telling him, rain now, about 14 miles out. Time to go.
I think so, and I'm proud of Carl, because when he got back into traffic there, he's taking care of his car. His car doesn't have a scratch on it yet, and he's really got a fast car. He can get back up there maybe.
Almirola Boyer side by side. Boyer wins that battle, moves up to 8th.
But back to Kyle Larson in the 42 car in this tire situation. Just ran his quickest lap of the race. Out front leading, not having to fight no one.
Kyle Larson has just pitted for Sunoco Race Fuel and Tires, so the battle on your left instead of for second is now for the lead. The yellow 20 of Matt Kenseth, the red and black 41 of Kurt Busch for first place.
Kurt has got a better car right now, but Matt's got that position up high. Unless he gets boxed in here behind one of these lap cars, I just don't know if Kurt's going to be able to get by without really getting down in there and getting aggressive. Pretty amazing the job that Kyle Larson was able to do, though, on the older tires, and he really gapped Matt Kenseth and those guys, was pulling away when he had to make his pit stop.
Kyle Larson goes a lap down with that green flag stop. He is not in the free pass position. That belongs to Danica Patrick. You see the 3rd place battle on the right. Ryan Newman trying to hold off Jamie McMurray. Chris.
Well, Ryan Newman's just been fighting all night long, trying not to get frustrated in that car, because he went down a lap early on at lap 145, but back on the lead lap, having a good run now. But they are also another one of these teams that's gambling with the rain. They can't make it to the finish. They're hoping it rains.
For the lead, Kurt Busch on the bottom, turn 2. Slides up in front of Matt Kenseth. No, he doesn't. He leaves the top lane open, but he's going to use Martin Truex Jr. as a pick if he can.
I don't know. If you leave that top open, man, it's hard to give that up. You got to slide up in front of Matt Kenseth, take that spot away.
The door was open just for a second there. Looks like he may clear him now. They still got a lot of lap traffic in front of them.
Great move by Busch. Now Kenseth's gone 3 wide through the middle several times tonight. Not that time. 32 laps to go. You just saw the important pass for the free pass position. Kyle Larson now the first car 1 lap down after making that green flag pit stop for fuel and tires. Should a caution come out, he'll be back on the lead lap after leading 90 laps tonight.
Yeah, well, we're running out of time. We're down to 30 laps to go. Even if he got the free pass, I don't think he could get back to the front. But man, I wouldn't want to have to try that and see trouble over in turn 2.
Yep, Keselowski.
It's okay.
Saved it. All right, Matt Kenseth now 1.5 seconds back of the leader.
Okay, we can still get this 41. Just work on them lappers. 10-4, buddy. Keep your eyes out front.
He's closing on Eric Almirola down to the inside, a little off the pace. Matt Kenseth, since his last win, well, he's lost the lead on the final lap 8 times.
But you know what? I like his attitude. He said,
oh, turn 4. McMurray got pounded by Josh Wise. Boyer ran into him. Here they come. Danica Patrick gets turned in turn 4 again. This time she keeps going. And against the wall is Michael Annett.
Oh my gosh.
Don't know what happened to McMurray's car, but it's almost like he just stopped and got pounded. He blew a tire, we're told.
Wow.
9th caution flag, lap 473. 2 cars ahead is the 1.
Keep going.
So Wise and Boyer were just victims. Right along with Jamie Mack.
Oh, you heard the tire pop.
Easy now. Keep digging. I blew a tire.
Wow, how quickly things change.
And there's just nowhere to go. You're running so close together. You're running so fast. There's no stopping distance at all. And if anything happens, you're a part of it.
Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards. Green flag.
Good restart by both the 20 and the 19.
Kenseth would clear him down the back straightaway. Edwards falls into second to 19.
Jeff Gordon on the bottom against Austin Dillon for a top 3 spot, and here comes Kurt.
Boy, I'll say, and in a hurry. I mean, he just can't be held up very long, though. He's got to get going. He can't ride behind this 3 and a 24 very long.
Trouble,
oh,
back straightaway, pow, inside, outside wall.
No.
Allmendinger and Kane.
Oh, no.
Casey Mears gets caught. So does Martin Truex. A great night for A.J. Allmendinger.
Wow.
Until now.
Dadgum. Casey Kane, Allmendinger. I mean, these are cars that were contenders.
That started midway down the backstretch, and they ran each other into the inside wall and then the outside wall.
See what started this. You see, here's the 5 back here. 14.
Tony Stewart right in the middle.
Looks like the 14 got into the 5 and shot him into the 47 of Allmendinger, and it was on from there from those two. But then I think they come back up in the racetrack.
Oh, yes.
Right there. And here comes.
Yep, Casey Mears.
Casey Mears. And here comes Martin Truex. Race, and I'll work with you next time.
There you go.
Pace car runs away. Austin Dillon may be overheating.
Steam
He's
engine.
the 3rd place car. Here we come. 8 laps to go. Green flag.
And he spun his tires big time, Austin Dillon, on that restart.
And just what Carl was afraid of is exactly what he's having to deal with. There's Jeff Gordon. Got him pinned down on the bottom. But Carl, I think, come on, you might be able to make it. Nope, not quite.
Kurt Busch shoots free of traffic. Tony Stewart gains 3 spots. Up the hill goes Edwards. He's in the fence.
Oh,
He's plowed into by Kurt Busch.
Are you kidding me?
Stenhouse gets turned around. Edwards is a mess.
Are you
And here they
kidding
come to the
me?
caution flag at lap 493.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Kurt, he had a head of steam, and there just was nowhere to go.
Couldn't stop. No, he couldn't stop. And Carl was down on the bottom, and he just got loose and walked up the hill. Pretty serious damage to the 19. The 41 is killed.
Let's sort this out, Darrell.
Yeah, I think you'll see Carl. He just carries it down into turn 1 pretty hard, trying to clear Jeff Gordon. See what happens here. He gets loose, get a little loose getting in. He's trying to get up in front of Gordon. Can't quite make it. Tries to stay off of Gordon, and the car catches and shoots in the outside wall. And here comes Kurt running wide open.
Well, when Carl got loose, how close he came to getting Jeff Gordon's left rear.
27 and 51. Matt Kenseth's Toyota. Jeff Gordon's Chevrolet. 5 Sprint Cup championships between them. And right behind, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman. And right behind them, Tony Stewart, Ricky Stenhouse, Larson, Almirola, Boyer, and Allgaier. That's your top 10 as we get ready for the restart. Green, white, checker.
Got to clean the tires up now. You've been setting the tires are kind of cold, and you've been picking up a little bit of debris. Get those tires clean. You got to nail this restart.
Pace car in, Gordon lagging back a car length. He's got to come up even with Kenseth. Coming to the restart zone. It's on. Green flag.
Newman's the one that did not get a good restart in the 31.
No, and we saw that earlier tonight with the 31. Didn't get a good race sight. And look who's running second.
Johnson.
Shot out of a cannon, I mean, and he is going to be all over the back of Matt Kenseth as we come to the white flag.
White flag, Brad, one more time.
Better not slip.
Johnson high. Here comes Gordon trying to close. Kenseth owns the racetrack. Double wide for fourth. Newman inside of Stenhouse. Matt Kenseth from the pole breaks the drought, wins Bristol.
Great job by Matt Kenseth. Hadn't won a race in a year and a half here almost. Great job of him from the pole, but also.
Man, I'm absolutely speechless. You fought your guts out there, buddy. I wanted this one worse than anyone I've ever gotten. Thank you so much. Great job, guys.
Hey, thanks for everything on pit road so far this year. You guys have been doing a way better job than I have, so thank you. Making me look good.
32nd career win for Matt Kenseth. 51 starts since his last one at New Hampshire. Coach Gibbs getting ready to lead the celebration for Matt Kenseth, who gets his 4th Bristol victory. First time he's won the spring race. And for Matt, that's his most wins at any Sprint Cup track. Sunoco fueling victories. This one's for Steve Burns. Kenseth becomes the 6th different winner of 2015. And it's the 3rd time he's won from the pole. 2 of those 3 have come here at Bristol. Kenseth defeats Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Stenhouse, and Ryan Newman. Complete post-race coverage on Fox Sports Live. Ryan Field and Don Bell. Thank you, fellas. Matt Kenseth breaks a long drought and gets his first win of the season. That's Denny Hamlin. Quick there to offer congratulations. Here's the 5-hour energy. Big move of the race as Kenseth beats Jeff Gordon on the restart.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson was in a great spot. Jeff Gordon pinned down on it inside, and Jimmy Johnson was able to get by, and 17 right there as well.
Victory lane with Jamie Little.
Well, the race officially started 9 hours ago. Multiple rain delays. It has been a long one, and you've waited a long time for this. Put into words what today has been like and what this win being here finally means.
It means a lot. I mean, I got a great race team. Last year was tough, and not winning again this year so far has been tough. We've been putting ourselves in position, so really need to thank Jason and all these guys. Our pit stops have been great, and I haven't been doing as good a job, and the cars haven't been as good, but these guys have been really doing it. So I want to thank everybody at JGR and, of course, Dollar General. I think they stuck it out all day to watch us. Thanks all the fans for staying, and all our sponsors, Dollar General, DeWalt, Toyota, TRD, Gatorade, Citizen Watch, Wiley X, Reesers, and Cessna. Great partners, and proud to be standing here representing them.
Standing up for cancer. We stand up for Steve Burns.
And Steve, because I am Steve's favorite driver. He doesn't tell a lot of people that, but I am his favorite driver.
Claiming it right there, and he is watching. Congratulations, Matt Kenseth wins at Bristol.
How about that? Congratulations from his crew chief. What a wild day and night, but worth it.
You know what this proves? It ain't over till it's over.
Never.
When you run 500 laps here, you have no idea what's going to happen until the checkered flag falls.
And then I think about Jason Ratcliffe saying how much he needed this, Matt Kenseth's crew chief. Remember, just past the halfway, he pulled the belts tight and made that huge chassis adjustment to the left rear, gave up track position, but it paid dividends for that 20 car.
Pulled that rubber out left rear, took him a little longer, came out 7th, but it paid off.
Great night for Kenseth and for Justin Allgaier, who gets a career best finish, and for Danica Patrick, 2 top 10s in the last 3 races. So great progress there.
And for Matt Kenseth, you're never too old to be emotional, and he was for a number of reasons. He just won the longest race in Bristol history, 511 laps. So congratulations to him. His son Ross Kenseth, also a driver, and he was with us on the pre-race show. Was Matt? You asked about that. He tweeted, said, "Sorry, Dad, I couldn't be there, but you're up on the wheel and hoping you win."
Well, and if I had to put a guy behind the wheel late in the race and do the job, it's Matt Kenseth. He's amazing. He's cool under fire. He was calm on that restart. Jeff Gordon fell way back. Matt Matt just waited and waited for Gordon to get there, and then he made the perfect restart, executed a perfect 2 laps, and won the race. An awesome job by that team. And thanks to Food City and everybody that helped make tonight such a special day for Steve Burns and Stand Up to Cancer.
And Matt with the sign as well. Started on the pole, was never out of the top 10. Let's check in with another driver having a good night with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Matt Yoakum is standing by.
What a great run by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in a 17 car last year, a 2nd and a 6th tonight, a 4th. Describe how you got there.
Man, it was tough. It was a battle all night. We had our Zest Ford rolling pretty good. We still lack a little bit to go up there and lead laps and run with those guys, but man, all night we dug hard. Nick got some good pit strategy there early to get us out front. Spotter Mike Herman did a great job for me, calling all those wrecks. We had a lot of wrecks in front of us. We were able to miss it. Our Ford was zestfully clean until there towards the end. One of those wrecks, the 11 got into us and really killed the back of it. But, I'm glad we went back racing. We got 2 more spots in the top 5 out of it. So hopefully we can continue this momentum. We knew this was a good track coming for us. And, we want to hopefully be able to continue to do this on the 1.5 miles later on.
Momentum building top 5 for Ricky Stenhouse.
Soon.
And Matt Kenseth call him Rain Man because when you think of his 2 Daytona 500 wins, one of them 2009 rain shortened, and then he won the one that was moved to Monday night in prime time and won that as well because of rain, and withstood a marathon here with wrecks and rain and red flags. In fact, this racing coliseum became the theater of the absurd by the end of the night.
Well, I think we saw everything that we could possibly see with the champions, the dominant cars from 2015 having accidents. We saw more wrecks than ever. I mean, Clint Boyer had a crash with 25 to go. He's tore all the pieces. He salvaged a top 10 finish. So there was certainly stuff to be gained by hanging around, but there was also a lot to be lost.
And for Toyota, a victory. Joe Gibbs, who's had success, obviously, with Denny Hamlin. We hope the next spasms are okay for him.
Yeah, we're thinking about you, Denny, and that's 2 wins on the short tracks for the Toyotas. So we know they're going to be strong there. As we go to Richmond this weekend, look for them to be good there as well.
Yeah, for Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers, our entire NASCAR crew, all the drivers and fans who hung with us throughout the long day and night and in support of Steve Burns and Stand Up to Cancer, we thank you very much. Stick around. Fox Sports 1 continuing. Ryan Field and Don Bell will pick it up with highlights of all the baseball and NBA and more racing. So long for now.
Sorry about that, guys. As this rain comes in,